Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up. Cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, though. Positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goes.
Health matters to me.
Health matters and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
And it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.
Good morning, CSRA. This is Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
And you're listening to Help Matters here, right here on WAW Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel truth.
Listen, this is another beautiful day the Lord has made, and we are going to do what, Jackie?
We're going to rejoice and be glad in it.
That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
I think it's easy to do.
We got to on purpose do it. We got to intentionally enjoy our day. We got to intentionally choose our joy and our happiness. We got to intentionally do that.
We got to do it.
Yeah.
I tell you, if you don't, then you'll find yourself, feeling and being in a way that you really don't want to be.
You get into your feelings.
Oh, yeah.
You get into your feelings and your emotions, in which they're valid, but you have to make sure, you're responding rather than reacting on those feelings. But they are valid. They're
Most
valid.
definitely.
But yes, that's why it's so good to start with gratitude.
Mhm.
What are you grateful for? And that sets the tone and the move all the time. Thinking about something that you are grateful for. Just like I said, we say it all the time, and I keep saying it, the mere fact that we woke up this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The mere fact that we're still here, we still have our family, we all are doing well. That's enough to be grateful for.
Yes, it is.
That's enough to be grateful for. So just starting off the day, commanding your day and saying, okay, I am so grateful for this day. So yeah,
Good.
that's it. Mhm.
Awesome. Listen, we got Dr. Dan on with us on this morning. Looking forward to the interview with him. We're going to be talking about happiness and health. So we know it's going to be a good interview. So you guys make sure you stay tuned in. Don't move that dial. Stay right here on WAW 94.7 FM. We'd like to welcome everybody that's listening to the station via radio. Thank you so much for following us and tuning in every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Those watching via Facebook and YouTube. Thank you also for joining us on Saturday mornings. As I said, we're going to be talking about happiness and health with Dr. Dan on this morning. We're going to acknowledge our sponsors, Aiken Chiropractic. Dr. Dan, when your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street, Northwest in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191, and their website is aikenchiropractic.com. That's www.aikenchiropractic.com. And Centerwell Senior Primary Care, they're helping seniors live healthier and happier lives. They're located at 3435 Wrightsboro Road in Augusta, Georgia. Their number is 706-841-9719. Their website is www.centerwell.com. And Graham's Vehicle Detailing, affordable mobile detailing with professional results every time. Their number is 706-830-4982, and their website is www.grahamsgvd.com. If you would like to be a sponsor, partner, or a friend of the broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. If you would like to become a sponsor or advertiser with the radio station on a daily basis throughout the week, you can call 803-649-6405. There are many options for you to explore and purchase for your business.
Well, Coach, we in a new month.
Brand new month.
August.
August.
Oh, we almost done with this year. Guys, can y'all believe that?
I can believe it.
Ooh, we
Time's not
almost
waiting for
out, but I
anybody.
tell you, it's still hot though. This is like we
It's
was
gonna
on
get
vacation,
hotter.
guys, and we've been on vacation. I tell y'all, this is some different heat.
It's different.
This is some different heat out there. So
It
guys, stay
just hits you
hydrated
different.
and stay cool as much as possible. But we
Yeah.
got some birthdays this month. First, our granddaughter and my sister-in-law, Patrick's baby sister, they are
Yes.
20
Yeah.
birthdays.
Yeah.
So they celebrating
August
their
5th.
birthday this month on the 5th of August.
Happy
So
birthday
happy
to
birthday
Valerie
and
and
Naya.
Lanaya.
Lanaya, our newest grandbaby.
1 years old.
Yeah. And they also celebrating the anniversary.
Yeah, Valerie and Jerry, right.
The anniversary. And his birthday, he will be 60.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of celebration they're gonna be
A
doing in
whole lot.
H-Town
Yes.
up there in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Valerie. Happy birthday, Jerry. Happy birthday, Lanaya, sweet cheeks. Happy birthday to you, baby. 1 years old. And
Yes.
happy anniversary again to Valerie and Jerry, my sister and my
Yes.
brother-in-law
Yes.
in
Yes.
H-Town up there in Houston. Enjoy yourself and have a great time.
All right. So, guys, with that being, we have our Help Matters happening, and that's when we give you Help Matters happenings that is going on and in our world today. And it's a whole lot of going on,
It's a lot
recalls we
going on.
got going on right now. So,
Yeah.
guys, just brace up for a minute, and we're gonna talk about one recent recall.
Most definitely. So, Major Pharmaceuticals and Major Rugby issued a nationwide Class 2 voluntary recall for select lots of levothyroxine sodium tablets. They are to regulate thyroids. The tablets are recalled because they are subpotent, meaning they contain less active ingredients than required and may be less effective than what people expect them to be. What you should do is check your prescription bottle or packaging for the manufacturer name, lot number, and expiration date. Then contact the pharmacy where you fill the prescription to verify if your specific lot number is affected. Do not stop taking your medication or change your dose without talking to your doctor first. For more information, you can also go to the FDA.gov website, and it'll give you some more information on that recall of levothyroxine. This has been your Help Matters happenings.
All right. And so, guys, and we have our Help Matters wellness tip. And we're going to talk about words because, life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so we just want to just talk about our words because what we say, what we think, and we tend to act out. So I just want to talk about that. The words we use shape our brain, feelings, and our health. Positive and intentional language reduces stress hormone, while harsh words increases anxiety. Changing increase anxiety changes how you speak change how you speak it to yourself and to other builds mental strength and well-being, and that makes so much sense, Coach,
Mm-hmm.
because what we think turns into words, and words turns into action.
Most
So we
definitely.
have to be mindful, to switch off those negative thoughts and
On
then
purpose.
begin
Yeah.
to speak positive thoughts about ourselves. So that's another thing, is just using gentle words, showing yourself grace. So when these thoughts come up, immediately don't speak it, just change the thought.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you rewire the brain. That's how rewire your thinking.
Most
So
definitely. And it takes practice.
and it does take
Right.
a lot of practice. So, and that's different for each person. But that's been your Help Matters happening for this Saturday. Your words matter.
And that's good, Jacob, because that's a segue into the subject, a topic that we're going to be talking
Yes.
about with Dr. Dan on this morning, because health and happiness, they're closely connected. Positive emotions, as you've been talking about, can lower stress hormones such as cortisol, while strengthening the body's natural defenses. Healthy daily habits build a strong foundation for both mental
Yes.
and physical well-being. So let's get Dr. Dan on the scene with us, Jackie.
All right, guys. With further ado, we know it's been a while. We have our very own Dr. Dan back in the studio on Help Matters. Let's give him a hand clap, guys. Welcome him back.
Welcome back, Dr. Dan.
Dan, so good to see you. And the audience in the CSRA is so happy that you're back.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Doing
Good.
great.
Good to see you guys. That was really, really nice what you guys were talking about earlier, and it's very useful as well. Yeah, very good. I mean, well, I thought we'd talk about how happiness impacts your health and how to actually be happy. What can you do to be happy, and why is that important?
Mhm.
And what made me think about it just this week. I go in to see this patient, and he looks at me and he goes, how are you happy all the time? Like every time I see you, you're always like smiling and stuff. Like, and he was one of my last patients for the day, which in theory you're exhausted, but I mean, I'm happy what I do, and I look at the guy and I say, well, I chose a career I like. I enjoy the work I do. So to me, I enjoy seeing people. I enjoy doing something positive for them and helping them. What I need to do, and it makes me happy. I go to home, I sleep like a puppy. I feel like I did a good job. But I think so it made me start thinking about how many people are really happy or unhappy in their lives. And I read a lot of information about it, and turns out most Americans, it's over 80%, they say, according to some of the stuff I found out, are really unhappy about their jobs. And, they pick the wrong job. It's not a job that really suits their personality, or they pick something they can get, and so it pays the bills, so they're sticking with it, but not really liking it.
Mm.
So that's not good, but that's what most people do. And then the happiness makes your health better when you happy. Happiness is good. It gives you a sense of optimism, and it's also really good for your health. But happiness isn't a one-time achievement. It's something that you need to build over time. So it's something you work on all the time. So this is from the Northwestern Medicine. They also did studies on this, and basically, when you are happy, and I've talked about this before, there's a part in your brain right here. It's called a limbic system right here on the side, right here.
Mhm.
And that's where your body takes in account your emotions. So the way you feel does impact the way your body works. So your body does take it into account. And so you want to produce, when you're happy, you want to produce these good hormones such as endorphins and serotonin. Those are considered happy hormones. These hormones are good. They will boost your mood and make your mood better. They would they would trigger these changes in your brain activity to create a sense of calm and well-being. So those are the hormones that you want to produce. Those are the ones you want to, induce out of your body. But there's also the opposites. There's always two sides to everything. And you want to reduce the production of cortisol. And cortisol is your body's stress hormone. And
Mm.
so, the less cortisol you make, the better you're going to be. So there's a purpose for all of these. And the body really needs all of these hormones, but you would like to lower down the cortisol production and increase serotonin and endorphins if possible. That's kind of like the idea. So, you know, what does the cortisol do? Well, that particular hormone gets involved in a fight or flight mechanism. It can also be involved in something called freeze or fawn response. So, that's our, how would you say, prehistoric self, like
Yeah.
let's say when we were cavemen, and you walk outside of the cave, and here comes a saber-toothed tiger. So you got two choices: either you're going to fight a tiger or you're going to run away.
You run away.
Well,
Right.
you mostly ran away. So so that's called fight or flight response. So in the fight response, if you want to fight something, the body increases energy, focuses you to fight something. Flight is more common, and then you get a surge of cortisol to fuel your quick movements, alert, and escape that danger. Okay, so you want to minimize that. So I'll tell you what you can do to minimize that. But first, I'm going to explain what it does. And then there's also the freeze or fawn response. Freeze. The body in the freeze response, the body can become still, tries to conserve energy while assessing the situation for safety. And fawn, you respond by trying to appease or please others to avoid conflict or harm. So that's also what that is. So cortisol is actually useful in short bursts. It regulates your blood sugar and your blood pressure. However, if your cortisol levels stay relatively high for too long, then it increases the risk of health problems, and there's a bunch of them as well. So we want to be very, very careful with that. So what can living with stress cause physically? Like what can people feel if they're really not happy, if they're stressed out in their lives? It can lead to migraines, fatigue, high blood pressure, heart problems, digestive problems, of course, weakened immune system, and diabetes. So there's a lot of stuff, and these are serious problems that a lot of the Americans, suffer from. However, on the flip side, if you lower down this cortisol, and then you are happy and you stay happy, because things in your life are going well and makes you in a good mood, then you produce more serotonin, and that's the opposite. So
Mm.
serotonin helps people feel calm, focused, and emotionally balanced. So that particular release of that hormone can lower your blood pressure and heart rate. It can reduce muscle tension and stress. It can improve digestion. It can give you better sleep. So it helps your heart live longer. So, higher serotonin levels for a long time can actually lead to more productivity, stronger social connections, and better daily self-care, in your life. So there's just all these interesting things that science teaches us what this stuff really does. So why be unhappy? Why be angry and just sad or stressed out where you can really choose, to be happy, and you need to
Right.
achieve that happiness. And so, it's really a choice we make,
Right.
the way people are in their lives, like where a person is in their life
Mm.
has been really the outcome of all these decisions a person has made in their life. It is not just one decision. It is a lot of different steps that we do over time that determine where we are at that particular moment in time. So, when somebody's stressed out, oh, I have a difficult job and all that. Well, maybe their job is not for them. Maybe they need to do something else. But they got to that point because they made previous choices. So we need to understand that so we can make better choices in life.
Good point.
Um,
Good point.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so I will give you this. My experience from my life. I mean, I'm from Europe originally. I mean, I moved to this country or came to this country in 1991. I had nothing. I literally had nothing. And, when I came here, I had to work. So I had to support myself for a while. And so I did that. And I worked in this business. It was a bakery business in New York. And within a year, I was doing good, and they offered me to buy the business, but I didn't want to own the bakery. So, but I found happiness is what I was doing. Like I was proud of what I was making. I never in my wildest dream thought I was going to be, baking stuff. But, once I learned to do it, I enjoyed it. And the stuff that I was making initially, when I was kind of thinking to myself, why am I doing this? But I needed to do that for the time being. Um, I wasn't doing so good. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to learn to like this because I need this for the time being. And so I learned it. And all of a sudden, the stuff starts coming out great.
Yeah.
People loved what I was making. They enjoyed it. They thought it was great. I had a, really nice, uh, you know, opportunity there, and had a lot of business there really, but it wasn't my business. I just worked it, but I supported it very well. And the owner saw that, and he says, you're really good at this. I'll sell it to you if you want. I'm like, nah, I want to go. I want to continue to college. So that just made me more solidified that I want to go to college even more, because I know how hard work is when you don't have a college degree. And bakery was fun, but I mean, you got to work at night, and it has to be done by the morning, and it has to be fresh. So really, your life is opposite of everybody else, and I don't want to live like that all the time. Also, all the holidays, people have off for holidays, they enjoy themselves. I have to work twice as hard because there will be a line outside the door at the bakery when we have like events in town.
Right.
And so people come up and we sell like 2 or 3 times as much stuff during holidays, but I'm working harder. So I hated holidays because it was harder. So, but I was good at it and I was proud that I made something. You have to be proud of what you create. You have to be happy about what you create. And
That's
then, yeah, yeah. And
that's
then
good. Let's unpack a little bit of that stuff because you're saying a lot. You're saying a
yeah,
lot, and you're making some great points. I like how you started off with how you're happy in your job. Because that's purpose. You're
yeah.
you're operating in your purpose, and I think if we operate outside of our purpose, we can find ourselves in some ways that cause us a lot of stress in our lives.
Yeah.
Because we're doing something that's not fulfilling us. And I think that's very, very important in life to be doing something that fulfills you.
Yes, and don't be afraid to search for something that you like to do that makes you happy. So then I went to college. I got accepted. I was very excited to be in college. It felt like a step up, from what I was doing before, and I really really appreciated being at college. So I went to Rutgers University, and then I graduated with. I'm an engineer of food technology or whatever they call them, a food scientist as well. So I thought that would be interesting coming up with new products, and I worked for my first job was for Lipton headquarters in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. That was interesting job, amazing looking building. It was just interesting job. And then I did some other stuff, and I did that. I was really good at it, and I did really well. So the second job I had in my field, I was a technical director at R&D, and I was in charge of making those nutritional labels that you see on packaging, for food products.
Okay.
And also, I had to design the actual packaging, and I had to approve it with USDA because our products had milk in it, and sometimes meat products, and so you have to. That's under USDA. So I even had to go to Washington D.C. and bring our stuff so it can be approved quicker. And that was kind of
Wow.
my idea. And so anyway, I did really good with that too. And the company's like, "Man, you're doing a great job. We want you to consider staying with us and maybe retire with us." I'm like, so at one point I started thinking, I don't really want to do that either. I mean, I like this, but I don't want to be in the corporate world. That's not what I want to do. I want to be on my own. I want to have my own business. And so then I found out about this chiropractic thing from my best friend. We're still really good friends, and we're both chiropractors to this day. So we are goofing around, playing ping pong in his house, and talk about what we're going to do as far as graduate school. And my friend John goes, "Well, I want to be a chiropractor." I'm like, "Well, what is that? I never heard of that." And then he explained what it is. And so when he was young, he had scoliosis as a child. And so, he wanted to work out and get stronger and, be like a little bit of a bodybuilder. And he couldn't. His back was killing him. He couldn't do anything. So his parents took him to, regular doctors, didn't help him at all. And then finally somebody said, "Did you try chiropractic?" So they did. They take him to a chiropractor and the guy fixed him. And he says, ever since I was 9 years old, I remember this guy changed my life. I was able to do stuff that I couldn't do, and I wanted to do the same thing. And I was like, well, that's pretty powerful that he knew what he wanted to do since he was, 9. And I haven't heard about this degree until I was in my early 20s. So then I started looking into it, and I drive around New York or New Jersey. I see a chiropractic clinic. Sometimes I pull in and I go to the front desk and I say, "Hey, I'm just curious. I might want to study this as well. Is it possible to maybe I talk to the doctor for a few minutes if when he finishes with the patients, just to see like what he thinks, what his life is like. Does he like what he does, and what's he like actually living as a chiropractor?" And they were all so nice to me. They were so friendly. "Oh yeah, yeah, he'll talk to you. And let me just finish with the patient. He'll come out and talk." They were all so pleasant, and they all seemed to really enjoy their lives. So I remember that, like, these guys are all in a really good health. They're all excited to do this stuff. It's all a really good job and everything. And the quality of life was really good. And I remember my dad back home, being a surgeon, was always upset, always stressed out. He had horrible, cases where people are, having horrible health problems, cancer and all this stuff. They're dying, and it's like horrible stories. And And I'm like, wait a second, this focuses on natural health. It's so much easier. I don't have to
Mhm.
deal with all these horrible things, you know. So I started looking. I'm like, you know what? I think I can be good at this, you know. And I just felt strongly I should do this, and it changed my life. So I quit the job I was doing, which was a well-paid job, and I decided to leave the corporate world for good and go to graduate school and do this. And I was really motivated. Even throughout the school, I was very motivated. I wanted to really learn all this stuff, how to do it properly. And so I graduated with honors. And then, now I have three clinics, So I had more before, but I have three right now. So it's busy, but I like being busy, And so I enjoy what I do. So when that patient asked me the other day, how do you stay so happy all the time? Like every time I see you, I'm like smiling and stuff. Because I enjoy what I do. I didn't just choose this because I was thinking about money or I was thinking about, I don't know what. I chose it because, hey, it's something I want to do. Like I want to be good at it. I'm good with my hands and I feel like I can do this stuff and then help people. And then money should come as a result of that, which is what it is. It is coming as a result of what I do, but it's not the reason why I do it.
That's
And
good.
so,
That's good.
if
Mhm.
you do something to serve people and, you do it well, people will come see you. People will come to see you all the time. And it's been very, very nice and really rewarding doing what I do. So, I'm happy. I have nothing to frown upon. Like I get up in the morning and I'm excited. I don't know what the day's going to be like. I don't know what kind of patients I'm going to see or what kind of issues they're going to have or new patients. I'm excited. I'm always curious. Whenever you know, I take X-rays of a new patient. I'm always curious to see what they got, like what's going on. So very, very exciting.
Oh,
I
so
order.
let me get in.
Mhm.
Let me get in here for a minute, Dr. Dan, because like I said, you're saying a lot. But and I like how you show your passion in what you do. When we're passionate about what we do, that helps us with those chemicals that you talked about, the endorphins and the serotonins that are good for us. That helps us lower stress, that helps our heart health, that helps our immunity to be strong because we're in a good place. you
Yes,
know and then just for you to have the passion, like you said, it's not about the money, although the money is a result of what you do, but the passion is what drives you to see
yes,
people get better.
And
And
that's
that's
that
an awesome
why,
thing.
and that's your why, Dr. Dan, and that's
yes,
why I enjoy learning from you, because I know your why, I feel your why, you show your why because every day is not gonna go the way
no,
it wants to go. You may have a moment, and I call them moments, but when you can recall your why and what you do, that overrides everything.
That's
So,
right.
and
yeah,
that's why you can continue to have that joy and continue to have the happiness, even though it can be some chaos around you. But I'm remembering that why
Hmm.
I do what I do because it's impacting that why impacts my what I do. Yeah.
yeah. It's amazing. Really, if you find a purpose in life, and I think this is my purpose in life, but I mean, you got to find your purpose in life, whatever that is. Like a bakery, like I could have been a really good baker too, because I did good with that, but I wanted to do something else. And, so I chose this. But, anything that you're good at, and, I have patients that have their own businesses, and you can tell when somebody is really into what they do and they're happy, they're successful. I mean, I have a lady that comes, she does embroidering business downtown Aiken. She's super happy with it. She feels great about it and she's successful. She made these shirts for me right here, so that's where I got it from. But anyway, the point is, anything you choose, you need to be fulfilled with it. You need to, think about, is that what you really want to do? To me, the higher purpose is, serving people with their health naturally. That's kind of what I want to do. But there's other ways to serve people, like she's making this kind of stuff, and I need it. So that was
Right.
really nice. I love how she made it, and all that other stuff, very professional. So, the gentleman also came the other day. I'm not going to say his name or anything, but he owns a, pizza restaurant in Aiken. So I'm not going to mention who he is, but, he loves what he does. And he is in his 70s. He's 72 or 73 years old and still doing it. And I asked him, I says, wow, are you gonna retire soon? He goes, No, he says, I just love doing this. I love running a restaurant. And even if I retire, what am I going to do with myself? I love being busy. Here's a difference that I saw: people that are successful in life, and success usually translates into being wealthy to some extent, that you're comfortable, money usually follows if you're successful. But they're not successful for money. They're successful because whatever product they're making or whatever they're doing, they love doing that.
That's
So the
right.
difference between person like that and people that are not successful, they're always upset, they're always worrying about something. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. So, for instance, there was a friend of mine that I looked up to for years. He passed away about a year or so ago. He was 80 years old. So he lived a while, but eventually he passed away. He had I forget what he had, like pneumonia or something. Anyway, some time ago, I used to ride motorcycles with this gentleman. So, he's a bunch older than me, but we've been on several motorcycle trips together in the past. And the guy is so cool. He was very wealthy. He was very successful in the businesses that he had. So he gets older and still rides motorcycles. And
Mhm.
so one of the trips we did, he had a Honda Goldwing, which is a top touring motorcycle with a six-cylinder. I had two of those myself. So we're riding on this trip. We're going through Jacksonville, Florida, and he says something's wrong with my motorcycle. So we have to find a dealership. So we find a Honda dealership, go there, stop along the way to see what's wrong with it. And the serviceman comes up and says, "Hey, this part is broken, and you need a new one. And I don't have it in stock, but I can order it. I can overnight it, and it will be here tomorrow morning. I can get you set up for tomorrow morning. But that means you got to spend the night here. And the other guys I'm riding with, they're all like, well, we had different plans. We were not going to spend the night in Jacksonville. And he is very wealthy. He's probably the wealthiest man I ever met. And so they're all pushing him. They're all saying, listen, your Honda Going has 120,000 miles on it. You had it for some like 15 years. It's a perfect time to trade it in. Just trade it in right now and buy
Wow.
a brand new Honda Going. And we just continue on. And he's got money. He's got money. That's not a problem for him.
Okay.
And this is what he goes. He goes, Dan, I understand what these guys are saying, and I get it. I can certainly do that. But I like this motorcycle. I had it set up the way I want it. And I don't like to throw away things. So he says this bike still has plenty of life left. And he said, no, I like to stay here the night and get it fixed. And we did. Even though the other guys were grumpy, we got some hotel rooms, spent the night. First thing in the morning, they went there, the bike was fixed, we got on our way, and that was it. And the other guys couldn't believe that the guy like that, with all the money in the world, he chose us to keep the old bike. When he finally died, he still owned that bike. He owned other bikes, but I mean,
So,
so
Doctor
the
Dan, we gonna take a soft break
right,
right here to recognize our sponsors again. But
sure,
that's an awesome story, and I tell you, that's
Yes.
probably why he's wealthy, because he's not
yeah,
willing to just give up things like that.
yeah,
So, hang tight, Doctor Dan.
sure.
All right. Aiken Chiropractic, Dr. Dan. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street Northwest in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191. Their website is www.aikenchiropractic.com. And Centerwell Senior Primary Care, they're helping seniors live healthier and happier lives. They're located at 3435 Riceboro Road in Augusta, Georgia. Their number is 706-841-9719, and their website is www.centerwell.com. And Graham's Vehicle Detailing, affordable mobile detailing with professional results every time. Their number is 706-830-4982, and their website is www.grahamsgvd.com. All right,
All
let's
right,
get
welcome
back to
back to Help
Dr.
Matters.
Dan.
We're going to get back to this interview. I'm just absorbing. I'm just sitting here, just taking it all in. That it was a wonderful story. So yes,
Well,
that's
it's
awesome.
just
Yeah.
it's just good to give people examples, you know. Sometimes people think, oh, this guy is rich, so everything goes well for him. But it doesn't. They have the same issues we have. Vehicles do break down and all that.
That's right.
But, you know, it's the attitude that they have. So, you know, that's just the way it is. And by the way, that gentleman, you know, by the day he died, he still worked. He was 80 years old. He owned three businesses. He never stopped. And he told me, he says, Dan, I can sell this, but if I sell it, what am I going to do? What would I do with myself? And that's the attitude right there. People, they found their purpose in life. They really don't want to stop doing it, you know, whatever it is, you know, and they want to do it for as longer in life as they can. I like to do this for a good while. I'm 57, so hopefully I'll get to at least 70 doing this, and then we'll see how the health is. But you know, I like to keep doing this, you know, for a good while because again, what would I do with myself? You know, it's like I don't want to do another purpose. I found what I like to do.
Right.
But you know, let me give you you know, 8 ways to boost your mood, like things you can do to make yourself, you know, happier. So these are not in any particular order, you know, but one of the things we can do is, you know, practice stress management and mindfulness, reduce stress, clear the mind. You can Google this. There are breathing techniques that you can see on YouTube, where just Google it on YouTube and watch the videos. And there's also meditation, you know, so you can just clear your mind, clear your body, and follow some of these things that people are saying. You need a support systems, you know. Humans are social. We need those connections. So, you know, have some meaningful relationships. And I don't mean texting or going on the social media, but actually go out with a friend or something, you know, talk to people that want to listen to you, you know. Say thanks. And this is where, you know, I don't want to push things on people, but this is what God comes in play, right? You know, you should always give thanks and be thankful for what we have. I mean, we could be sitting in Ukraine right now and getting bombed. You know, we're not. We're in this beautiful country which is full of opportunity. You know, sometimes you got to step back and realize we have some good opportunities here and we shouldn't take them for granted, right?
Hmm.
Get moving, be physical activity, and all you got to do is walk. But other things are good, like yoga. You know, my mother-in-law, while she was younger, she did a lot of line dancing, so they do dancing,
Hmm.
gardening, anything physical that can ramp up your energy and that can lift your mood as well. But like we talked earlier, sometimes you got to give yourself a break, you know, so take a vacation, you know, do something fun,
That's right.
step out of your norm, step out of your normal life. And I do that all the time, you know. I go to the mountains a lot. I go to the beach on the weekends. I ride my e-bike, and so you got to do that stuff. That's really, really important. Be generous, be kind to others, and if you can afford it, maybe donate to some charity. That makes you happy. And then one of the big things is smile. When you smile, your body senses that, and opens your body with this good feeling chemicals in your brain and all that stuff. So we call that in science, that's called facial feedback hypothesis. It's kind of interesting. So smiling makes you better, makes you healthier. Frowning does the opposite, so it's
Yes,
better,
I agree with that one, Dr.
yeah,
Dan.
And it's amazing
yeah,
how your body follows that. If you speak
yeah,
positive words, then you'll feel that it within yourself.
It
But if
yeah,
responds. Your body
right,
responds to
if you
that.
speak
yeah.
negative, then
Right.
your body responds to that.
Body listens to you, just like Google listens to us on our phones all the time, and
Come on, Dr. Dan.
spies what we do all the time.
Yeah, what they said in
And
that closet.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, I was also going to say, as far as nutrition is concerned, try eating some foods that are high in tryptophan. Tryptophan is the nutrient that your body uses to make serotonin. Okay, so that's what you want. So why when we have like certain holidays, people feel good about themselves because eating turkey is high in tryptophan and it makes you happy, makes you release that serotonin. Other foods that have serotonin in them. So you have tuna, you have salmon. Those are good things. Eggs, Milk, cheese, some of those things are good. And then some of the seeds, like pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, we talked about that as well. Those are good things. I mean, so, try to incorporate that in your diet a little bit here and there. And take small steps, small steps are fine. So, try, maybe try something new, try to learn a new skill, take a class. There's all kinds of free classes that they teach. You can even go painting if you want, or sculpt or something. I mean, there's
Right.
so many things you can do in today's world. Another thing you need to do is look at your direction in life. See if you need to sit down once in a while and think about it. I don't care what level your life is in. Are you a student? Are you, working? Are you retired? You got to have a direction in life. So sometimes, take a moment and see where you're heading. Maybe write it down. It's good to write things down.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I want to be in 6 months or a year or 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Write something down. If you have goals, there's a better chance you're going to achieve them. If you have no goals, you never think about where you're heading, you just blindly start stumbling through the life, and you'll never really be happy. You never really amount to anything. You got to have goals. Like,
That's
I'm
good.
57. I'm already thinking about retiring. Even though I'm not retiring anytime soon, it's time to think about it. I'm looking and I'm learning. I'm reading about Social Security. I'm
Yeah.
reading about some of the laws that we have in this country, and how expensive is Medicare when I get Medicare one day, and what that covers, what doesn't cover. How
Right.
much is that going to cost me? You got to look that up. Horrible stuff today. Just want to mention something. Just the other day, I had a lady. She's been coming to see me for a good while, and she's back again. And she comes and she goes, Dan, Dr. Dan. She goes, you make me feel better. I come here for an adjustment, and my back doesn't hurt. But then I go back to work, and then it starts hurting again.
Mm.
And
Uh-huh.
I said to her, I said, wow, I'm not going to say her name, but I said, wow, are you still working? She goes, oh, yeah. The lady's 80 years old.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, you think she's like in her 50s or 40s. No, no, she's 80. And I say to her, so she works at the nursing home. And I said, so she helps sometimes lift patients, and she's 80. And I said, well, that's why your back hurts, because I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that kind of job when you're 80. You're supposed to relax.
Wow.
And why are you working? Because she needs the money. She says, I did retire and I couldn't stay retired. Everything got expensive. And I went
Uh-huh.
back to work.
Mm. Mm-mm.
So I read it. A lot of the seniors are going back to work
Yes.
because
Yeah.
ever since COVID, everything is like double and triple in price. And
Mm.
so, people are running out of money. So you got to account when you are planning for your retirement for things changing in life. So a lot of people make a mistake, I believe, and they look at the time they're retiring, how much money I have for my bills and everything, because whatever the bills are right then and there. But they don't realize that some years later, the bills might double or triple, and if your income stays, kind of levels off, you might be in trouble. And I think some of these people they don't have enough of a cushion, and they have to go back to work. So there's something wrong with our society when somebody that's 80 years old needs to work because she needs to pay her bills. I think that's wrong, but
Let
that's
me
where we are.
interject there, Dr. Dan, because you're
Hmm.
making a good point right there about,
Right.
aging because people are living longer.
They are.
Some people are living longer, and you got to take that into consideration. If you're gonna have enough, to live off of in your retirement with days. It's already
Yeah,
hard to live off of retirement income,
Right.
but when
yeah,
things start going up, more than you expected them to, and you're not ready for that, that could really set you back and put you in a whole different season of your life.
But even
yeah. You
people are dipping into their retirement. That was she probably retired and had that to live on. But
hmm
because of, like you say, Dr. Dan, things have tripled in
hmm
our in the country and in the system. Now I gotta dip into retirement, and I done heard a lot of seniors saying that they going into what they call their nest state, their
Yeah,
retirement, and
Nest egg.
they gotta go back and work,
yeah,
and that
It's not enough.
something is
yeah.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, something's wrong with the country, honestly. But the thing is, you need to know the rules. There are rules to everything. Like for me to do what the work I do, I have a license to be a doctor of chiropractic. There are rules. I can't just make up stuff. I have to do it according to techniques and all that stuff. So if I don't follow the rules, I mean, I can be in a lot of trouble. Same thing with medical doctors. Same thing with everybody. So
Mhm.
there are rules when you retire. There are Medicare rules. There are Social Security rules, and you really either try to learn it on your own, which isn't that easy, but you might need to talk to a professional like a financial planner and see what they can teach you because honestly, you need to plan the retirement in today's world. You do. And there are rules like a lot of people don't realize, but I got my Social Security. Okay, but when you start getting old enough to draw Medicare, there's premium they're going to charge you for the Medicare every month.
That's right.
Guess
That's
what that
right.
comes out of? Your Social Security. So
That's
you're
right.
getting less than you think you're getting because they don't realize the Medicare comes out of that. They do it automatically. And then when you get a little bit more older, you got to choose another part of Medicare. And if you don't, you get penalized and you pay money every month for doing nothing. So you got to choose something. And then they charge you even more for Medicare from your Social Security. So you will not get your full amount of Social Security to keep. And there's some other stuff. There's some other rules. So you
There's
really,
a lot
really
of
need to look
systemic
into
issues.
that.
A
Yeah.
lot
So
of
it's not.
systemic issues when
Yeah.
it comes to that. When
Yeah.
you get to
Yeah.
that portion of your life, that's just a
Yeah.
lot of systemic issues, and it just makes you mad.
It does. But here it is. There's a lot of people I treat. They seem to have figured that out. And they are living great lives. They're going out there traveling, playing pickleball, golfing sometimes, walking. I see people like that as well. And I would tell you that's because they planned it. They knew exactly what they were doing because they
Mhm,
didn't wait till the last second and they
mhm,
planned it. A lot of people don't plan things and they have to do better. You got to plan for your health. You got to plan for your, retirement, for your job, for your savings, for your children. There's planning all the time. That's what makes life interesting. I mean, I like planning. I like making our plans. I feel like it's good to be organized. I like being organized. So I'm sorry, but you have to be organized in this life. There are options out there. But if you don't know all the rules, we don't make the right choices. Time goes by, you might be sorry later. So I just had a friend of mine told me just the other day, she is 64. I'm sorry, she's 65, and she says she decided to take Social Security retirement benefits earlier. The full retirement is 67 for her, so 2 years earlier. And she went and talked to her financial planner, and the guy said, well, for every year you retire earlier, you lose about 8% a year. So
Mm.
times 2 years, you're losing money like forever. But you have 401k or whatever that she had through her job, and she says, I'm getting you 14% on that a year. So even though you're losing 8, you're making 14, so you're still 6% ahead. So he said to her, go ahead and do it earlier, because if quality of life matters to you and you want to be free 2 years earlier, then you still come up ahead and do it. And something interesting he told her, which I never looked at it that way. He said, listen, once you pass on, you cannot pass your Social Security benefits to your children. You only take it yourself. Once you die, that goes away. But the 401k and other benefits that you accumulated, that's your money, you can pass that on to your children. So they
mhm.
get something from you where the Social Security they do not. So the guy said, hey, take the Social Security earlier, use that, and save your 401k instead. Interesting. I never thought of it that way.
That's a
So
thought. That's a good thought.
yeah, so it's kind of like every situation is different. You got to see what works for you. But
Mhm.
the thing is, I never thought of it that way, and it's true. It sucks that we're paying all these taxes for Social Security. You cannot opt out of it. They take money from you regardless, and then they give you little pieces of it as you eligible, and then you can do nothing with it. Like it goes away. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it's just a scheme to get more taxes out of us. But
Oh yeah.
hey, need to plan
Yeah.
for that, and but you really need to do things on your own. Don't I don't That's why I like having my own business. I don't have to depend on government or other people. That's when you put yourself in trouble. When you start depending on somebody else and you're not the one in charge of your own life, then you can really put yourself in a hole. So that might work for a little bit, but eventually the laws change, the things change. I mean, how many people during COVID stopped working because they were getting more unemployment benefits than what they were making with their job. So a lot of them quit. Nobody wanted to work. Government was paying more. But what happened then? They got used to that. And then the government says, no more, no more. We in debt. We don't have any more money. They cut them off. And then people were all upset and everything. But you cannot get used to something like that. That's okay for some people, maybe temporarily, but they give you time to figure something else out in your life. And if they just get used to it, they think it's going to be forever. It's not. So the worst thing you can do is rely on government. There's nothing ever good from the government. I just pay my taxes and don't worry about it. But I need to do stuff for my own. That's the beauty of this country. You can still do something on your own when other countries those options don't actually exist. So this is better.
Yeah, I tell
So
you that
you know
Dr. Dan, it's just the life. It's just amazing how life events does impact your happiness, in turns impacts your health. And we know what happens when you can't do the things that you even need to do because you don't have the health to do it.
yep,
And it's all wrapped around life events is wrapped around and like you say, planning. We have to do that. We have to plan and we have to prepare ourselves for each stage of our life so that we can be happy and we can be as healthy as
that's
we
it.
can possibly be when we get older and in these different ages and these different seasons. Like Dan, this has been real good. This has been real.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um,
Awesome interview.
but we want you to go ahead and we get into that time.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and share any closing thoughts that you have for the listening audience, and
Well,
share with them how they
yeah.
can get in touch
As
with you.
always, we only have so much time here, but I like people to think. I want to challenge the way they think, and maybe some of them will think about what we just talked about, and decide, hey, maybe I need to start doing something. So that's the thing. Think about your life. Think if you're in the right place. There's something bothers you. There's things you want to improve, and it's never too late to do it. And that's what I would say. So, and by the way, my price for the Power Wellness program is still the same. I haven't raised it.
Excellent.
Woo!
Oh,
We're
79,
still the same.
guys.
79 for four
Awesome.
visits. We still keep it going.
Yes.
I'm
less
trying
than
to keep
copay.
it, but that's what we still have. So
You
I'll be
you heard
happy
what
to do
Coach Patrick said, Dr. Dan? He said that's
it.
less than the co-payment they
It
charging you
is
now.
less than copay.
Really is. It really
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
four
Use it.
visits for
Well,
$79. You can't beat
You
that.
can't beat it
no.
at all, guys.
All right.
Use it while we still can do that stuff.
Absolutely.
So,
And
Dr. Dan, again, it's so good to have you back,
yeah,
on the airways with us and, giving us some fresh content to
yeah.
get out there to the people. So, yeah, if you could just, give them your website, give them your phone number and how they can set up.
It's just aikenchiropractic.com, 803 641 9191. You can call us, you can go on our website, and we'll be happy to, see what we can do to help. Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Dr. Dan. We'll
Excellent.
do this again next month.
We'll do
Yes, yes,
something,
yes,
yes.
absolutely. Dr. Dan, I'll be celebrating my 60th birthday in October.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. You're a little bit ahead of me. So it's a
Yeah,
milestone, it's a milestone. Well,
absolutely.
happy
And
early birthday, but we'll have to talk about it later.
All right.
we're looking forward to it. All right, Dr. Dan, we'll see
Dr.
you
Dan, we'll
soon.
see you soon. Bye
Good
bye.
to see everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right, what an awesome
Yes,
interview.
awesome interview,
I tell you,
guys.
happiness and health,
Yes,
they do go together.
they do.
They
They
go
do.
together. I
And
mean, because it affects our mental and our emotional well-being, our social well-being, our happiness. Because sometimes when you're not happy or you're dealing with a lot of stress, you don't even want to socialize or be around. You tend to want to just
isolate
isolate
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
And that's not good
it's not
because
healthy. It's
we are
not good.
humans. We
Right.
supposed to have that human connection.
That's
But
right.
yeah, but
Most
give it up for
definitely.
Dr. Dan. We welcome him back and we thank God that he's back here to
Mhm.
share the wealth of knowledge that he has, and he's very passionate about what he does. And
Most definitely.
everybody that know him and that we refer to him and go to him, they know that he loves what he does.
Most definitely. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and close up out of here, make room for the shows that's coming on after us, guys. We want you to stay tuned for the Concerned Ministers Fellowship at 9 a.m. right after us. You Matter is coming up with Pastor Bush. And then Saturdays with Sean at 11 a.m. And 12 p.m., you got Midday Motivations with Alicia G. And at 6 p.m., you got Tony D. During the week, you got 6 a.m., Judah the Hebrew with prayer. Then at 9 a.m., you got Pastor Smalls with the morning praise. At 12 p.m., Mary Harris with the afternoon praise cafe. 3 p.m., you have Minister Arlene Edwards talking it up. And every Tuesday at 11 a.m., you got Reginald Forrest with Education Matters. And Thursdays at 11 a.m., you got Pastor O'Neill and Reverend Takia transforming lives.
God, listen, we'd like to thank you for listening to Help Matters here on Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel truth. Remember, we're here to help you to become a better you, to be the best you that you can be. We always like to leave you with 3 John 2. Beloved, wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, you have a blessed and wonderful Saturday. Remember, always sow and show an act of kindness to someone, because you never know when the act of kindness may be extended back to you. We love you here at Help Matters, and remember, you matter and your help matters. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Health is life. Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Yeah, let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up, cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, though. Positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goals.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be. And it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.